Hello. So we're about a little over a week into 2024, and I thought this would be a good time to go ahead and review some of my better moments or my favorite moments from 2023, our running recap. Um, I was fortunate to be able to run over 4 marathons this year, one backyard ultra, a bunch of half marathons, and really just had a lot of fun this year. So I kind of want to take a look back and review some of it. So this was my first marathon of 2024. It was the Yingling Shamrock Virginia Beach Marathon. Ran it St. Patty's Day weekend in Virginia Beach. Had such a great time. It was a great race. It's a great after party. Definitely a race. If you haven't done, I would totally recommend it. I think you'll have a great time. So this year I really got into trail running a lot. We did a lot of group trail runs all throughout Long Island, and you could see we really had a good time. And it's something that I'm looking forward to doing even more of going into 2024, including maybe some trail ultras and anything on that end. So my second marathon of the year was in April. It was the Newport Road Race Marathon, small marathon up in Newport, Rhode Island. It was a little hillier than I thought it was going to be. Not a lot of crowd support, but it was a fun race, and it wound up being my eighth state completed. So I had such a great time, and it's something I would recommend. So you're probably seeing that I wear a lot of Selden Hills race shirts. Selden Hills is one of the running groups that I belong to. I actually belong to a couple of running groups, and I really find that it's become a much better part of my running everyday life. Just having a large group to run with, everyone supports each other. It just makes the running, the races, the group runs. It makes it just so much more fun to be part of a group. So it's I look forward to continue to run with these groups in 2024. So this right here is a 25K trail run that I completed in May, followed by the Brooklyn Half Marathon presented by the New York Road Runners. And then the week after that, I completed a 15-mile run for charity. It was a Special Olympic run that we ran for all the Special Olympiads. So as you can see, I'm holding the torch. And then Memorial Day weekend, I did a 10-mile run up in upstate New York. Part of the miles on the Mohawk that I completed with my wife. So that was a fun time as well. So in July, we run the Utica Boilermaker up in Utica, New York. This is such a fun 15K. It's a very popular 15K. It's got a great after party at the Saranac Brewery. Unfortunately, I don't have any race photos because no one took any. So I just had to go ahead and show you the after party. So at this point in August and September, I really started kicking up for my fall marathon training. And I was training for the Backyard Ultra. Right here, this is the Cow Harbor, the Great Cow Harbor 10K. It's a popular race on Long Island. About 4,000 people run it. So I included that as part of my my training, or one of my speed workouts. And then up here, this here is the Great South Bay Run. It's a half marathon. Once again, just kind of running this as a training run, not really going for too much speed at this point. This was late September. But this is also a good race to do and a good way to train. So the Hartford Marathon I did in October. This was state number 9 that I completed totally. A good run. I planned this as a training run for New York Marathon in November, but it turned out to be a better marathon than I thought it was going to be. I actually ran a better race, so I was happy with my turnout, and once again, it's a race I recommend. This here was the Suffolk County Half Marathon. It was my last big race before the New York State Marathon. It's a nice little local half marathon. You run over the Great South Bay, which is a pretty fun thing. And I felt that this was such a good race to do 2 weeks before the New York City Marathon. So here we are at the New York City Marathon Expo. I've done a lot of marathons, and this by far is my favorite expo. Lots of vendors. The merchandise store is filled with a lot of items to buy. It's very interactive, and it's just a really good time and something perfect to do the day before the marathon. And then typically right before the marathon at night, a lot of people like to do flat photos of themselves with their stuff laid out. I do a rolled up ball version as a joke. So this is the New York City Marathon. It's a great marathon. I've done it twice, and this was my favorite year doing it, and still by far my favorite marathon that I've done. There's just so much about this marathon, the crowd, the support. I had the pleasure of running with a friend for about 18 miles before I let her go because I felt like I was slowing her down. But I'm going to do a recap on this one because it was such a great time. And it's really a marathon that I'd recommend anyone to do. This year they went from the old blue ponchos to new orange ponchos as part of the marathon rebranding, so that was pretty cool. And then the next day, we just spent the day in the city as part of Metal Monday, just taking some photos, bar hopping a little bit, and just celebrating the achievement that both my wife and I did. So this is the Rehoboth Beach Marathon, half marathon in December. We always go with a bunch of group of friends from our running community. And I've done the marathon back in 2001. The last 2 years I've done the half. And really, the race is a fun race, but what really makes this race is the after party. After party's huge, and it really caters to both the full marathoners and the half marathoners. Sometimes you get after parties that basically only cater to the half marathoners, and by the time the full marathon is finished, the after party is pretty much wrapping up. The race starts at 7, and the after party goes till about 3 o'clock. So it's really a good time. So this is the Backyard Ultra. I competed in December. If you're not sure what a Backyard Ultra is, it's a last person standing race in which only one finisher is crowned. Everyone else gets a DNF. It's a 4.16 mile loop that you have to run on the hour every hour until there's just one runner left. This was my first attempt. I ran 33 miles, which was 8 loops. I do wish I kind of went out for another loop or not to really challenge myself. But in looking at this, it gave me a lot of insight as to what I need to do and how I need to prepare myself for the next one that I do. I'm looking at one in possibly June. A lot of strategies go into these races, and I think later on I may do a full recap as to what my experience was on this. But for now, it was a great time, and I can't wait to do another. And with the New Year's Eve run, this was the end of my running year. I want to thank everyone for taking a look and sharing some of the experiences with me. And like I said earlier, I'm going to recap some of the races I ran during the year, but take care and let's have good luck for 2024.